Good morning, everyone. Before we get on this morning's update, let's go over a quick overview of what is transpiring within not just XRP, but the entire crypto market as a whole. We had a substantial pullback yesterday, and as you can see, the continuation today. By no surprise, we talked in the live yesterday. If you were able to join my TikTok community as well, I went on into the live later last night. It's a different kind of format, so if you only follow me here, make sure to follow me on TikTok. Look in the video description below and or pinned comments. I'll put it in there from now on if you want to follow my TikTok channel as well. I do things slightly different there. You won't see my charts. It's just me in front of you. It's a full screen on vertical. But I do go over things in a little detail, a little differently than on YouTube. You get all the information here, but it's something that I've started the last 4 or 5 days. I'm over 23,000 subscribers or followers on TikTok, so was able to rebuild an audience just like on YouTube. About 7,000 less than on YouTube, but still a lot of information to go around. So if you're looking for more content, more quality content, and from somebody you trust, you can always follow me there and see me nightly as well. I always do it after I do my YouTube live. So sometime after the YouTube live, I'll do that for half hour to an hour. I never quite know. But as far as today goes, XRP to me very well could be building as some would call a descending triangle. I like to call it a descending wedge. It almost emulates that almost 7-year descending wedge we were in to break out. And that would, but the problem here is that would put us down to about $1.85 possibly. And we would warrant it. We want it to come down there if that's the case. If that's what we're creating, we want to have maximum capacity. Now, the one thing I will say is it is not necessary to come all the way down there. It's just we have a little channel formed here. So if we're in a falling channel, it looks like this. And then we shouldn't give back this uptrend. You know, maybe we come down here and double bottom because we still haven't done that yet. It's something we speculated yesterday. I didn't like how it didn't come down far enough. I would have liked to have seen this pull down to like $1.90, $1.85 yesterday, and we could have avoided this mess today. So I feel like a lot of people will be trapped today because of this, at least from the earlier hours. But we talked about maybe, just maybe, it's forming some kind of descending wedge. It's so hard to say yes or no. But if it is, I suppose one could say it's doing something like that. So we're trying to fine-tune this or fine-point this. And then you got the little uptrend that was started on the pennant flag from over here. I know it's not fully formed in. I don't know how it got deleted. But I suppose if you don't understand what a pennant flag is, you got the lower highs and higher lows. I mean, we broke out of it kind of something like that. It's just a small pattern, but it's not even necessary. I just need that uptrend just so you can see. But now it's either we hold this uptrend area or we start to trigger out over here. But this isn't... Is it a good setup in the terms of we came all the way down and back tested right around that $1.98, which was the 2021 cycle high? That's a good sign. The sign that I wanted to see, though, was a double bounce. I wanted to see it come down in a higher time frame, and it came very close. Don't get me wrong. It came very close, so let me not act like it didn't almost hit it. But when it came down like this yesterday, I said, this is bearish to me. You had the first pull down here, which hit the downtrending support, if we want to call it a descending triangle or a falling channel, at $2. This second 4-hour candle that came by, it came down to $2.04. If you wanted this to be a bullish pull down, you really wanted this to come down to like $1.95 at minimum onto that uptrend, or come all the way down to $1.85 and just fill out those gaps. Just fill them out. But at least between $1.95 and $1.97, there was an FVG, and we debated yesterday, was $2 close enough? Well, when you're talking about the fair value gap, and I know Nick is probably watching somewhere in the audience, and the beauty is, let's look at this real quick. So Nick, if you're watching this morning, I really appreciate you sending me this chart. And when he sent it to me, it was a little bit higher up. Now it's at like 213. But see all the gaps? He's showing the little gaps. You got daily, 4, daily. So, and weekly. So this is a weekly FVG down here. And that's right around... See, that's a perfect spot. That's like that $1.85 area, $1.87. So he knows. So Nick, thank you for sending me this chart. And look at all the gaps here. Like we almost came down to the weekly FVG. I'm assuming that's what that is on his chart, because that's right where mine's at for the weekly. Around $1.85. That's how I got that number. So And we could be forming a big double, like a big reversal here. But we also have to make sure that this didn't pull a topping reversal and then we form a right shoulder around that area. So I still think it's a very bullish setup. Even from what Nick is signing, it makes it look fantastic. I've got this little article I want to read to kind of exemplify what we're talking about. XRP forms descending triangle after nearing $3. Rally or major correction, so we'll talk about that. And I really want to look at the Bitcoin heat liquidation map because I want to see where the heat liquidations have formed this morning. And then I want to make sure to look at the whole entirety of crypto, the liquidation. Because yesterday in crypto, believe it or not, again, we had 100, and this is just on these exchanges, just on Binance, OKX, Bybit, HTX, BitMEX, CoinEx, and BitFinex, we had $156 million liquidated out of crypto. $156 million in one day. In one day. Now you want to add the residuals on from today? Do you guys see that? So this was the day before. See this? You think it was bad? You think it was bad? Look at it on December 8th. We had 156 million. Look at yesterday. Look at yesterday. We had $270 million liquidated. That means in 2 days, $420 million have been liquidated out of retail investors market-wide just on these exchanges. These are some of the top exchanges on leverage. So, you tell me that a lot of people get fleece, heisted, and chisted and lose all of their holdings by trying to get greedy and leverage? Or do you think this $420 million could have found a better way to be in spot, even if it was lost? Let's say the market went down 20% overall. Instead of losing $420 million, and it would have still been a hefty loss. You would have lost $84 million, but you would still have $165 million roughly in spot that you could take out and say, you know what? I lost a third, but at least I didn't get fully liquidated. Or I lost 1/5, but at least you didn't get fully liquidated out of a liquidation spot or liquidation holdings on a leverage trade. And that's what happened yesterday to a ton of people. And I'm not talking about people at stop losses. I'm talking about people who were fully leveraged out and got 100% liquidated. That's what liquidations are. So, stop loss be damned, these people didn't use one. So, significant and substantial losses to portfolios yesterday. It's the main reason why people asked me if they could copy trade me, and I said, nope, I'm not pushing that anymore. Because the pure validity now of how many people are losing money leverage trading, I will never promote that right now, ever. And honestly, we've got a spot opportunity, so you're not going to hear me speak the leverage side much more anymore. Honest to God. Because I see a lot of people that just got shysted yesterday, and I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to even give you that gambling itch because you followed me and you made 200-300%. Because even for me, I'm not leverage trading today. Since my position stopped out, I'm not leverage trading until I see how this cycles out. If it comes to $1.85, okay. Now we got a game. If it comes to $1.95 and I say, okay, maybe we got a game. But this game right now isn't for me. I like to sit back and spot and appreciate my buy-ins and be able to sit back and not sweat it. Like, I see opportunity developing. If Jasmine comes down, if Canto comes down more, Jasmine's down to almost 4 cents now. Canto's down another 12%. I am itching to buy more of these. The problem is on Jasmine, when everybody's trying to get me to buy at 1 and 1.5 cents, when it jumps like this, I couldn't buy it once it got over 2 or 2.5 because of where it was at. Now, if it wants to come back down, I will absolutely. If it wants to come back down and retest 2, 3, I'm all board. I started buying right here. Everybody kept talking about it. It was about to break out of the consolidation. Right when it got into here and tapped it, everybody's like, you better buy, you better buy, you better buy. It's at 1.9, better buy. So I bought it through the burst, through the down. And then once it held this, I stopped buying. Watched it go up. I'm like, holy shit. And then, same thing with Canto. Everybody telling me buy through this consolidation back here. Finally had to give some credence to the people in the audience because obviously they could tell what they're talking about. Had this big push up and I'm like, whoa. Then when it came down, I said, okay, I'll get some. So 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, 1.8. Got over this little hump over 2 cents. Said, nope, can't buy now. If it comes through, I'll buy more. That's my philosophy. And I don't have a ton of either yet. I've got 30,000 of Jasmine, but it was so cheap that it barely cost anything. You know, in comparison to what other I have 30,000. On Canto, I have 20,000. And again, it wasn't the most expensive purchases at 1 cent, if I'm being honest. You know, or 2 cents. But I also have my limitations. So I'll tell you when I think that's the exact spot where I'm going to add more too. So there's a lot to go on this morning. So good morning. 8:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So you got your first bullish or bearish signal, at least to start the morning. The fact that we got rejected at $2.22, but that doesn't mean it's just going to come down. This could just be a fake out this morning. We got the U.S. waking up on the Eastern Standard Time zones. You know, it's 8 a.m. right now on the Pacific Standard Time out in Cali and such. It's about 5 a.m. So we've got a lot of people waking up to the market. I think we've done a great rendition so far of what's going on across the market. And I think with no sugarcoating, we're honest here. Me, the ones in the community, if you need advice, there's a few people that I would definitely take advantage of, like Nick. There's True. There's a few other people that come in here religiously that I could say names, but I don't want to say everybody's name. But there's just a couple that, like somebody sent me the chart, and True was very active in the live. And there's just a lot of things that happen. But there's certain people that you can take stock in what they're saying on the charts. It's not just me. So if you need to get a little bit of validation, try to find a few people that you're becoming familiar with in the comments. They're very, very helpful. Something I push here. We want positivity over negativity. We want helpful, not hurtful. So be the light for somebody. Don't be the darkness to somebody else. Always bring the light, the love, the compassion, the humility, the humbleness. With humility comes grace. With grace comes help. With help comes honesty. And with honesty comes the ability for all of us to see what we see in front of us every day. Like, we're not surprised by these charts. We're actually vindicated right now, because if it would have went up, I'm telling you guys right now, if it would have went up to $3 and $3.10, it would have been over. It would have created the big double top, and then it wouldn't have had any chance at this reversal. Yeah, it could have still created a big double top. Let's not act like might not have an M topping reversal. And it's why, as much as I hate showing this chart, it's why I have this chart. So people aren't, oh, I might have deleted it yesterday when I was showing everybody. Oh, right here. It's why I had this chart. Oh, I did delete the bottom part. But it's why I had this chart before the drop. And is it either going to come up or is it going to do something like this? And then we come out to a M topping reversal. Because if that's the case, we need to know. So that's what we're watching to see play out. Right now, I don't hate what I'm seeing, though. I don't hate what I'm seeing across the board. It's just, do we get something a little higher? You know, a little bit more subtle. Because what I'm seeing across the board, I don't know. Because we dropped so much that it is possible that now we have that consolidation mode. But just pay attention to what I'm saying, because if it plays out in a descending triangle, it could come down to $1.85. If it plays down to the bottom of like a wedge, that $2.22, if we can overtake that, then the next target's going to be $2.32, which is what we need to get above, because that's the pattern formation breakdown. So just remember that. And that's what I'm going to leave it at in the technicals. The time's starting to get away from me. It's 8:04. I got to get my son to school at 8:20. And you guys seen already the map when it comes to Bitcoin, how much was liquidated. And like I said, today, so far, there's already been 270 million liquidated between last night going into today. So that's insane. $270 million liquidated. 420 million plus in a day and a half, 2 days. XRP, you have 17 million today liquidated. And look at that. Would you look at that? $67 million on the 8th were liquidated from long and shorts. That means $67 million from traders just like you and I no longer can be in spot. Imagine $67 million would have lost 20%. Right? That's about $14 million you would have lost. But no, in totality, everybody was liquidated for over $67 million in one fair swoop. That be damned with the stop loss, right? Greed takes hold. I mean, this is absolutely outrageous. That's exactly why I'm stopping talking about the leverage side of things. That is outrageous how many people are losing their money to leverage when we're in the biggest bull market we've seen since 2021. That is a shame. That's an absolute shame. Because I'm sitting here right now and people can criticize if you have 10,000 tokens. You went from, oh, it was at 290 at 29,000. Now you're at 218 at 21,000. Coming up from 3,000. Yeah, but at least you still have 21,000. Those leverage traders that might have took their XRP holdings, They don't even have the 21,000 now. They have zero. Zip. Kazilch. Now all of a sudden we started creating liquidity up here on Bitcoin. This was not here yesterday. Now all of a sudden we've got liquidity starting to build back. Remember how flat it was yesterday? There was no deep pockets. 441 million now at 103,000. 102,850. 441 million. You got several $billion adding up here again. It's just going to get bigger if we drop. Comparison to below, there's not a lot of liquidity in comparison. We basically tapped all this liquidity. Look how low it gets down here. So all that liquidity is above again. We're almost making perfect conditions to try to flip this around again. So we'll see. We'll see exactly how long it takes this market to flip. But this doesn't look bad. This looks like we got a top side liquidity here. Let's see in the last 3 days. Out of curiosity, how much was created in the last 72 hours. And then I'm going to release this because I really got to get my stuff together. I'm going to the gym after we drop my son off, so I got to get my gym stuff. I mean, there's been a little bit of liquidity, nothing below. If you want to look at the comparison, until you get all the way down here to 93,000, I mean, there's a little bit. We got a lot of deep pockets up here, even in the smaller time frames. That's a lot for the smaller time frames. What does the monthly show real quick? That is a lot for the smaller time frames, I'll be honest. I'm going to save that article for tonight when we do the live. See if it does play out in that descending wedge fashion. Let's just wait for this monthly to load. I mean, you got 400 or 500 million there. And then if you go below, you would have to get below 90,000. And then you got some big liquidity here. That's what's stopping me up right now. But we did come back and double tap that low. Ooh. OT sent him one? That's occupational? Oh, that's cool. But anyhow, guys and gals, I hope you appreciated this update. I got to go because me and Julie got to get our son, getting out ready for school. If you're looking to trade XRP in the USA or abroad worldwide, make sure you look in the video description. BITUNIX is my most preferred, especially if you're a leverage trader. That's the cheapest fees, but I don't advise it right now. They have the spot positioning on a lot of different things, so take advantage of that. You don't need a KYC or VPN because it's not an exchange that you send or receive from a bank account. It's literally a trading exchange. So you're sending back to another exchange when you withdraw, or you can do like I do, and if you have to send Bitcoin to Cash App or Venmo or Ethereum or Litecoin to Venmo, you can do stuff like that too without being verified on this account. And then HOTCOIN's the same way. They have my VELO and my IOTA, so it's very important for me on that exchange. No KYC or VPN, you can leverage, yada yada. Crypto.com is where I hold a slew of things, and that's where I'm verified. I have my crypto debit card, the Visa debit card, where I put money on. I'm getting my windows through it and stuff, so I take profits and put there. They have 250,000 FDIC, so obviously if you want to be federally deposit insurance, that's the same thing as if you're doing stock or bank account if you're in a legit place. I have my DGB, ZIL, VChain, IOTX, I have Jasmy, I have, it's the other ones that I have on there. There's one more. I'm forgetting, I always do. I have VChain, oh, and Canto, that's right, Canto. So, some from the audience that have suggested that over time. Glad they did when it was cheaper, not after it exploded. That's one solace I'll give the audience. You guys were allowing me to get in at fucking phenomenal deals, and even after this drop, there's still 1-2x. And then obviously, if you want to send a donation, you can do PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, send a YouTube Super Chat, or send it on YouTube. But not everybody wants to join Tom's Army or send it to YouTube, so you can always do it like that. Remember, though, everything that I do for free. So if you're joining Tom's Army, you're doing a pay-it-forward moment. You're just paying it forward for the time I put in. There's nothing special. I have to do this in the way that I see fit, and I like to do the pay-it-forward model. So the way I do it is everything's free, and if you want to show support, so be it. We have a couple hundred people in Tom's Army over the last 4 years that now have stick around, over time. It's taken a long time to build it. But you guys do give me the solace and the grace that where I can do this the way I see fit for free and not have to charge anybody because you never know the size of somebody's wallet. So you want everybody to get the information that's there without having to have like a paywall. So that's what I believe in. That's what I do. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ this morning, as you want to stay humble and humility. You want to be... have you be humility filled in your actions. And And we always have to remember to give grace to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So with that being said, have a blessed day, and I'll see you later.